Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade and this is How to App on iOS. And today, we're going to be hanging out with the one, the only, the master of the Gong. Welcome to the Gong Show. It is Robbie Stingle. And we're going to get straight into the gongs today. Let's do it. I either feel like The Undertaker's going to come out now or it's the start of an Iron Maiden song. Either one would be awesome if that happened right now. Welcome to the show, everybody. Yes, indeed. What a fascinating way to start the show with a wonderful gong medley. Man, what a beautiful sound, that thing. And that was Robbie showing us his 32-incher. Damn, see, we're getting the jokes in quick. I hope you're all doing well. It is Friday here in Australia, the end of the week for me. No, it's not anymore because I do a show on Saturday now. So I hope you're all well. This interview's been a long time coming with our good friend. You all know him really well. Yes, indeed, he is the man, Robbie Stingle, the man who writes 1 million songs a day, beats the shit out of gongs whenever he can, and is one of the most beautiful, kind souls we know around this community. So without further ado, I think it's just time we bring him on. As usual, I will say hello to you all a little bit into the show because we want to get straight in and find out about Robbie. So without further ado, let me make sure everything's good here and he's unmuted. Let's bring him on. It's Robbie Stingle. How you going, Robbie?
Oh, pretty emotional. That was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Emotional. What? The gongs or the intro?
Everything.
Well, what got you? What was it that got you into wanting to start a gong collection?
Well, when I was young, I started playing drums. A friend of mine, his brother had a huge set in the basement, and he used to play his brother's drums. And he said that the way to get started was playing Bad Company songs. And at that time, there was only like 2 Bad Company albums. And that's when I started playing, Bad Company songs. And I've managed to get a drum set piece by piece, saving up, cutting yards, buying a drum, buying another drum, worked my way up to the whole set, and it was seriously into Led Zeppelin. And you can't listen to Led Zeppelin without hearing the gong.
True.
And that's when I asked the company I was buying the gong pieces from to contact Paste in Switzerland at the time, and they made me the 30-inch gong, and I got that in 1978.
So you've had that other gong all that time?
Yes.
And what about this one behind you? So you've got the 30, and when did you get this one that's behind you right now, the 32?
Probably about 7 months ago.
Right.
And well, that video was the first time I ever rang the gong. I set up the camera the first time I ever rang it and caught it right there on that video.
We did a good job for a first timer. And what about the ones to the side, those plates that you've got there behind you, the plates? What's their story?
Well, those are paste sound plates, and what they are is big, thick pieces of mostly bronze, and they ring a very loud tone, and they each are tuned to different tones. Paste stopped making those, and I had ordered them in 1991, right before they stopped making them. And the whole set cost me about, I think, $3,200, which seems like a lot then.
Wow.
But now you can't even find them. And if you do find them, they're like easily $9,000 for the set.
So, is there a bit of a collection thing? Like, not only, I mean, obviously you like playing them, but is there that little bit of a collector thing that you've got them and, you know, they're a rarity? Is that part of the attraction too?
Not really. I just like the way they sound. I mean, yeah.
What about your neighbors? How do they like the way they sound? I've been wanting to ask this publicly. Are they like throwing their knickers at you through the window going, more gong, Robbie?
Almost. My neighbor lady next door is such a beautiful lady. Her name's Darcy. And when I do Sunday sounds, she always texts me to keep going, not to stop. Every time I play, she'll go outside and listen on her porch. And yeah, she's just terrific.
Well, that's good.
And, yeah.
That's good because, you need to have a neighbour that's understanding. My last neighbour here used to bang on the walls all through the night and yell through the walls, "I know you're hacking my TV and trying to get into my brain." That was...
Wow.
Wow, indeed. That's what the police said when they used to come over. He's gone now, thankfully, so I can just get, yeah. It was a fun time. Yeah, the last straw with my ex-neighbour, Robbie, was he was downstairs at my window at 2 a.m. yelling, "You're gay! Now come downstairs and suck my..." And I'm like, what? I'm the one who's gay? You're asking me to come downstairs and service you. I don't know what's happening, but he's gone now anyway. So that's good. You've got an understanding neighbour. Does she have any favourite? Do you ever like play to her? You must have a good friendship with her, yeah?
Oh yes. No, I don't actually play for her, but you know, I've gone over there several times and she's got me on the big screen. You know, I don't lack for amount of content, so.
So she's subscribed. Is she subscribed?
Oh yeah.
So I wonder what number subscribers she was, because you've just reached a massive milestone recently with your subscribers, and I'm sure you want to tell us all about that.
Well, right now I'm at 10. I'm at 1,009 subscribers.
That's a massive achievement. That is. How long have you been doing this on YouTube for, Robbie?
I think it's about 10 months.
There's a lot of people here, right? Just deleting their YouTube channels right now. Just can't. I don't know what it takes, because it's really hard. It's really hard to get people engaged in what you're doing on YouTube, you know. Some people have to like really slave at it. Like I bust my ass on this channel to try and get things happening. And I know you do. I'm not saying you don't, but what do you think it is that people are drawn to your channel?
There's a couple things. I think first, I'm genuine. This is me. I'm honest. There's no frills. This is what I do. And I think another thing is something you said to me a long time ago. You said that if you're putting out entertaining content, people will find you. They will. You don't have to really promote or anything. If it's entertaining and it's exciting, they'll find you. And I think that has a lot to do it too. And there's another thing that I think Richard pointed out to me is personality. If people genuinely like who you are, that makes a big difference too. So I think those are the main things.
Absolutely. And I think you have all those in spades because honesty is important. There's a lot of, I'm doing a rant about it this week called Too Good to Be True, and we'll find out what that's about this week because there's a lot of people out there who are grifters. There's a lot of people out there trying to sell you something that you don't really need, and it's bullshit. And I think honesty is very, very important, and I think that you're very lovable as well too. Like most people, I know if I ran into you in the street, I'd wrap my arms around you and give you a big cuddle.
Aw.
Oh, don't get too excited. Robbie, you're going to get serious now. What does music mean to you, Robbie?
Well, when I was really young, I was a real sick kid. I had asthma really bad, and I actually kind of died several times. I mean, they'd rush me to the hospital, and I'd be blue when they called the ambulance. I'd be black by the time they took me to the hospital, and I'd always come back, And so my parents were really, I don't think it was fair that they had to go through all that with me, So I always felt bad about that. But when I was pretty young, my father went to New York to work. He used to work for a company named Tally, who were some of the first computer innovators. And he would come back from New York and bring the latest albums that came out. I got the Doors album the day it came out. I got the Steppenwolf, Magic Carpet Ride, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Bayou Country. I got that when the first day it came out. One of the albums I really liked a lot was Donovan. Hurdy-gurdy man. I mean, so I was exposed to a lot of really cool music from a very young age.
What is it about music? Growing up sick is, what a horrible thing. And I'm sure your parents weren't sitting there, Robbie, going, God, he's always so sick. What a pain in the ass. That didn't happen. Your parents, they could give a shit. They just want the best for you always. But what is it about music? When you're writing music, when you're listening to music, has there been times when you've listened to music and it's helped you get out of a hole? Do you have any experiences you can share where music has almost saved you?
Well, I'd probably say quite a bit. When I was a teenager, I didn't fit in very well. I had my share of rejection. And I found comfort in songs like Ripples off of Trick of the Tail from Genesis. Or songs kind of like that, or songs that would take you away, even when I was younger. You're My Captain. That would be something where I would just kind of escape into. You could just kind of go into a different world. And when I got older, a little older, I would listen to things like Tales from Topographic Oceans from Yes. It's 4 album sides, and each album side is full of music, and it just really takes you to a whole different world. And Yes was like that with Close to the Edge or even Relayer. The songs were massively long, but they were very inventive. And that, along with the artwork that went with those albums, could take you away to a different place. And that could help you, kind of like get away from whatever you're dealing with,
Robbie, I got to tell you, I really miss cover artwork because I'm with you on that. I remember getting my first Iron Maiden album and just sitting there listening to it on vinyl and flipping the vinyl and just staring at that front cover. And so my first one, unfortunately, was Somewhere in Time, and I went back with Iron Maiden. And I loved it so much that I had the poster, and I had nearly every Iron Maiden poster, you know, and I put them on my roof in my bedroom so I could lay down in my bed and just stare and into that artwork, because the artwork mattered so much to the album back then, you know. And these days, an album drops and it seems like artwork is secondary. I don't know. Like, even when I make artwork for my stuff, I put everything into it. It's got to be, it's so important. But it seems like we've lost that connection with artwork since moving, especially to digital. At least CD, we still had it for a while. But albums are coming back. Are you still collecting CDs or vinyl? Do you still, or are you in the digital world these days for songs?
Oh, I'm totally anti-digital, basically anything. I don't have one app. I'm sorry. I don't. I have some vinyl left over, but I can't seem to get a turntable set up to work. I've got the PA. I probably could run it through that.
Yep.
But I can't get a good turntable to work. I still have my briefcase, two-sided briefcase full of original cassette tapes of all kinds of bands that I used to listen to when I worked fabricating at a fabricating place where I was a machinist, deburrer, tool crib, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I had some CDs, but I didn't really like I didn't like what happened when they transferred the music to the CD. You lost that kind of live feeling when you break everything down into ones and twos. You miss those 2.5s, you know. Those are little things, just the little subtleties. Not only that, but you know, if you've got a really good turntable and some watts and some big, you know, EV speakers, but if you don't close that top on the turntable, you will get feedback from your stylus needle. Yeah. That's what I liked. I liked when the air moved, listening to the stereo, kind of like the old Memorex commercial.
It's an absolutely different way to make music. I mean, even these days, I don't think a lot of people understand that if you're mastering music these days on a CD or for digital, you can't use that same master for vinyl if you're going to release vinyl, because the way you master stuff, how much bass is in a master, translates to the vinyl, and the grooves get too wide, and then the stylus can't deal with it. So you completely have to master a totally different way. It was a totally interesting, like, it seemed like back then, when you made an album, it was symbiotic with the vinyl, right? How you mastered had to really match with the vinyl. There's a relationship between the music and what it was being put on, where CD, it's just bang. You could burn them at home, you know. It was such a DIY kind of method to release music. I like vinyl. I see a lot. I'm part of a bunch of vinyl groups, and I am getting ready at some stage to buy a record or a player. So, do you remember the music that was played in your household by your parents as a kid?
Absolutely. Now, my mom had an upright piano, and she was a great piano player, and she was a kindergarten teacher and played for the kids, you know, and she would play ever since I was young. I would sit underneath the piano by the pedals and, you know, listen to her playing, and she played a lot of Scott Joplin ragtime stuff and, you know, stuff like this. Now, my dad had the album collection, and he had the hi-fi, you know, the amp with the big tubes and the whole 9 yards. And he listened to Benny Goodman and swing, big band, Glenn Miller, you know, and he loved Frank Sinatra. And we would hear that all the time. He liked Ray Charles. He had some Dixieland, you know. So I grew up with all that. Now
that's good breeding. That's good breeding for music.
Well, the last Sunday Sounds I did that Falco played last night, that was straight out of Sing, Sing, Sing from Betty Goodman. That's Buddy Rich's pretty much solo through the whole thing. And I know that so well. I mean, and I watched that on the Falco because I don't really watch the stuff I do much. And I watched it and I said, wow, I did pay justice to Buddy Rich there. And that's saying so because he was phenomenal too, you know. These musicians back then, they were so far above you know, the bar, and they kept setting it higher. Everything they did, it was massive, you know, with whatever they had to do it with, and you know, it was great. Now, of course, my father trained as a fighter pilot for the invasion of Japan, of which we didn't have to do because we dropped the atomic bomb. So it's safe to say that I wouldn't be here because there would have been millions of our soldiers killed trying to invade Japan at the end of World War II. I know there's a lot of different opinions on that, but as far as I'm concerned, I probably wouldn't be here if they did that because my dad would have been flying off aircraft carrier off the coast of Japan. It wouldn't have been good. But
Look, in history, man, a hell of a decision to make, to do that to people. And, you know, I think we look back as a species and go, Jesus, man, that was a bit heavy-handed. But in a way, it's like, hopefully we don't do that again. Hopefully we learn not to do that again because that's, hopefully there is no more war, man. It's a thing you hope all the time. But for some reason, the people in power just love hating everyone, don't they? What is that? Should they just buy a gong?
They're making money. They don't care if people die.
Well, yeah, it is about money, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned briefly, you know, you had a tough time at school. And I'm sure there's many of us here. I mean, what the interesting thing about this music community that we have here is we are all a bunch of misfits, and a lot of us have poor health. There's a very strong commonality with all of us from these communities that poor health is a feature, or we know someone in our family with poor health. And, you know, we're all pretty much a bunch of outcasts. I know I've always been an outcast. But here we are sitting here on YouTube right now, and I'm asking you about your life, and there's 46 souls just here to see you. If you had a bad bone in your body, which I don't think you do, and you decided to use that bad bone, what would you say to all those dickheads back in school who treated you like crap?
Well, you're probably going to laugh at this, but I'd probably tell them thank you because it toughened me up and it made me deal with life better. You know, it's like you take lemons, you turn them into lemonade, or, you know, you break eggs to make an omelet. You kind of have to go through experiences like that to make yourself a better person. So you can see that what they're doing to you is really a cry for help from them, and that you actually get empathetic and kind of feel bad for them that they would have to act that way. I know it's not exactly mean.
No, but it's what I thought you would say, because you are a very kind soul, and there's a lot of people who love you, and yeah, it's. I remember the first time I came across you. It was now don't get upset. Get upset. So it was Hippie played you. It was like the very last song of his show, and I'm normally there at the dregs of the show. And when Hippie plays you at the end of the show, it doesn't mean that you suck. It's just he likes to move things around. And we all know how Hippie operates. He's Hippie, right? He's just Hippie.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? But I remember the first time I saw you, there's this guy with a guitar thrashing out, and then you started playing guitar with your teeth. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? That's got to hurt. Because if I can't even eat ice cream without being in pain. I can't even imagine sticking my teeth on a fucking guitar string. What got you into doing that?
Well, when I started playing, it just kind of came naturally. I didn't really have to work hard at it. It was just something I could kind of do. And I saw Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock, and I just played the national anthem with my teeth after I saw that. All those years ago when I was 17. And that's about it. There's not really much more to it.
For some reason, your camera's just gone black and white. I don't know why that is. I kind of like it. It's a bit nostalgic. So I guess we'll leave it. So Robbie's gone back in time for some reason, and he's now in black and white. You never know what's going to happen on this show. But no, when I saw you doing that, I was just like, well, this. We need something like this in our community. And then, I think you first impressions always last, yeah? But then over time we've got to, is it in color for you? For me, it's in black and white.
Yes, I'm still in color. It's a little bit duller, but I still have color.
Yeah, I don't know why mine's changed. It's bizarre. Maybe it's my OBS. Who fucking knows? I can't keep up with OBS these days. It keeps changing every day. But I mean, first impressions normally do last. And when I first saw you doing that, I was like, there's got to be more to this. And it turns out you're a really fantastic songwriter. So we'll hold that thought for a second, because there's been a few people send some super chats through, and I should acknowledge them. I think Falcro sent through one too. Thank you, Falcro. I've missed it, so I can't actually highlight it. Thank you, Falcro, for the super chat, who says Robbie is amazing. We've got Mike Olson says Robbie rocks, and it's very true. So getting back to being young and stuff, do you remember the first album that was given to you as a gift, and the first album that you purchased with your pocket money?
The first album that was given to me as a gift. Let's see. I think it was Bayou Country that my dad got for me from New York City. I think that was the first one. The first album that I bought with my own money, after borrowing my sister Lori's album too many times, was Wish You Were Here from Pink Floyd.
Wow. And so you'd obviously heard it a lot of times before you bought it. And is there a specific album that, you've purchased that really just changed everything for you, that just blew your mind, that you can always go back to no matter how many times and listen to over and over again?
Wow. The Song Remains the Same from Led Zeppelin.
What is it about that song that does that to you?
It's just the way that Page performs it with no backing tracks or anything. He pulls it all off, just him. There's nothing else going on. There's no rhythm guitar. There's nothing. It's just him. And that's basically kind of what I did. And I also played with that album so many times. I could play the whole thing along with the record. That's how I pretty much, I guess you would say, got better, because I could play with the album. Now, tuning to the album was difficult, but then actually playing along with it, for the most part, I kind of flew through that. Sometimes there were some things I couldn't get. There's about 4 bars of Dazed and Confused live that I still can't get. There's a way that he plays it that I just couldn't get. But yeah, I would say that would probably be it, as far as if you look for one specific album.
We're going to play a song of yours, and then we're going to come back and say hello to everybody. We've got a bunch of songs we're going to play today. I'm going to kick off with West Superman. Do you want to tell me about this song?
This is about being young. I mean, when I'm forgetting to write a song and I feel old, I'm in pain, I can't move. You know, I picture myself doing things, but I know I can't do. And this was a look back. This was at, I remember when I could do these things, and I was young and virile or indestructible, and that's what kind of this song's about. And it's touched many people because they kind of look at it the same way, because everybody gets older and everything gets harder. So yeah, that was what went through my mind when I wrote this down. Because when I write them, I just write them. I just take the pen and I write it. I don't cross anything out. I just write it on the paper and there it is. Sometimes I have to look up a rhyming word, but other than that, that's how it happens with me. There's not a lot of, it's all emotion. It's not a lot of thought. Yeah.
Let's play it. We'll be back shortly. Enjoy, folks. This is We're Superman.
Oh, what a wonderful morning it is. Brings back memories to me. Way back when we were kids, everything was so new to see. I could run, hide and seek all day and sleep like a rock at night. I wish that place I could have stayed. Now standing up's a fight. When we were young, we're Superman, flying around the globe. When we were young, we're Superman, with the truth be told. So now I'm old and in the way, it's hard to move at all. Get out of my way is what people say, and God forbid I fall. When we were young, we're Superman, flying around the globe. When we were young, we're Superman, but all the truth be told. But I remember days gone by when I could run with the pack, and everything that I always tried, those days are gone, not coming back. When we were young, we're Superman, flying around the globe. When we were young, we were Superman. Oh, the truth be told. we were young, we were Superman, flying round the globe. When we were young, we're Superman, with all the truth be told. When we were young, we were Superman, flying round the globe. When we were young, we were Superman. Oh, the truth be told.
Well, beautiful, Robbie. Beautiful.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you so much.
There's your reason why that you've got over 1,000 subs. It's not a gimmick. It's not dumb luck. It's really hard to do that, to connect and write something like that. And, you know, not sit there and sit in a studio and record things to a DAW and do all that kind of stuff. Just play it straight from the heart. Right? Obviously, that's the way you like to write music, yeah?
Yes.
So tell us the process you go through for writing a song, because you release one or two a day. I'm not sure if it's one or two, but what's your process? Is it you take an experience, what's been just happening around you, something that's going on online, or walk us through the process?
Well, I usually sit on the edge of my bed and I have a cardboard box with like a ream of paper in it, and I use these, fountain pens, and I take a fresh fountain pens. Yeah, this exact kind of pen, and
that's the pen, folks. That is the ritualistic pen Robbie's got. What happens if you lose that pen? Then you're fucked.
Oh, I've got a lot of them, actually.
All right. So you got, it's like when new makeup comes out for women, you got to buy 4 of them because in a week's time they won't make them anymore. Is that you with pens? You've got a shitload of pens. Laurie's put the magic pen in the chat, so it's the magic pen. So you sit there and you get out your pen, you put it to paper, yeah?
Well, I just sit there with the pen, take the cap off, and I sit there with the pen, and I basically clear my mind and see what I hear in my head. And I'll hear things that I'll say, no, wait, that works. What's the following line? What's the next word? Will I be able to make another line to follow? And what influences is what happens in my life. Like one of the songs we got coming up, You Have to Be Strong, is about, my mom dying. And it really started this whole writing song thing, where I was really started to write a lot. And what I did is I took music that I wrote when I was, 17 or 18. And I used that as part of the musical part. And it was just really all about my mom dying and my reaction. Now, I hadn't dealt with this really for years, because that was in like 1991. So, I've blocked all this stuff out. And so that, that helped me hear what could be. The biggest problem is that I hear something and I can't write it down fast enough, and then that's gone. and I have to be patient to see what else is going to come up next, to continue. And that's basically it.
Are you a patient person, Robbie?
I try to be. Sometimes I get a little impatient. If I have gone through a whole lot and something's very frustrating, I could get a little impatient. But for the most part, I would say.
We'll hold that thought for a second. Let's say hello to everybody who's here, because there's now 51 people here, Robbie. There's a stat for you. Yeah. Man, you're a legend. That's why. Folks, if you want me to call out your name, you can help me out by just, filling up the chat. And I'll do my best to call you all out because there's a lot of you. Roadies, Jam Cave. Happy birthday for the other day, Roadie. DOA is here. Laurie's Mishmosh. Kid Kane. Andy's here. Blue Unicorn. We've got Thomas Christ. Hugh Caldwell. We've got The Real is here. The Real Deal. We've got Independent Many United. We've got D. Michael. Ed B. Metal. I'm going off memory now. Laurie's Mishmosh, of course. Gozo of Oz. Gortium85. Mike Olson is here. I'm trying to put up the comments at the same time. Joe Glenn. The Falcro's here. Kid Kane Music. Brad Example. Zach Thong. Pookie, who kindly sent some subs over, some memberships. So thank you for that. Also, Doctor's Orders sent through a super chat. So thank you.
Doctor's Orders.
Still got it in. Doctor's Orders is here. Lord Spy Protein is here as well. He's on the move. He's driving, I think. Hetriani's here. Yeah.
Boom.
Who else do I see who's here? I'm trying to catch you all. I've said Andy. I've got Forrest. I got Forrest. I saw Pete at the beginning of the show. If I've missed you, just yell at me in the chat, and I'll make sure I get as many people as I can, because I do tend to ignore the chat during these interviews because I'm so Kid Kane. There's Kid Kane with a boom. Tremor Bear. Hello, Tremor Bear. Laurie's got the eyes. The eyes have it all. That is our secret language. And I want to let's thank Falcro today, because and there's Lady Rodeline Straight. She's here as well too. So welcome, Lady Rodeline. We want to thank Falcro today because Falcro, Cold Acres here too. But thank you, Falcro, for spending the time with Robbie and helping him set up Zoom today, because I was a bit worried. I was a bit worried, going, shit, is he going to get it set up? I actually had a backup show planned in case it all went tits up. But Falcro, you're a legend. We love you, Falcro. You did a great job helping Robbie, and here he is in the flesh. So you head over, make sure you sign up to Falcro and become, what's his people called? Falcronites? What? I can't remember the term. What?
Falcronians.
Falcronians. That's what it is. Falcronians. Man, it's so funny.
I, however, am the only crow.
You're the only crow. Okay. So is that a special? Hey, while we're talking about we'll come back to while we're talking about Falcro. There's this person who rings in to Falcro's show each week. Do you know who this person is? They kind of sound like a cross between Arnold Schwarzenegger and somebody from a coin laundrette. Do you know who that person is?
I have no idea.
No idea. No. Right.
He's been on vacation for a couple of weeks.
Right. Cool. I just want to get to the bottom of it. So somebody told me that you know who he is, and something about a chopper.
Well, you got to look out for those choppers. They can be a little, a little bit dangerous, and you never know. You might hear something from someplace.
Right. So you don't know him at all. There's not related to you in any way, or.
I do not know this person. I do not know them. I'm a scheduled chopper. I want my housekeeper now.
All right.
I want my cow. I want Barbara Streisand. Whoa, these people. What are you doing in my house? Get out of my house. What the hell is that?
Holy shit, the illusion is ruined. That's him. That's a really good impersonation of him, Robbie.
Oh, I've been listening a little bit. Yeah,
Right,
I've been working
right.
on it.
Studying, huh? Yeah. Oh man, I had to bring that up. So when you were younger and at school, yeah, did you have music classes or anything like that? And how did you start making music? What did you? I ask everybody this. Were you one of the kids who had a music class and they forced you to play the recorder?
No, not at all. I had nothing to do with music education whatsoever. I did it all on my own. Yeah, there was no learning or studying or anything. I just basically I winged it. I've been winging it my whole life. I mean, it's just yeah. So
What was your first instrument that you got a hold of?
oh, I had an acoustic guitar. What happened was it was my sister Cindy's. And I stepped on it and broke the guitar neck, and I bolted it back on. And then she said I could have it. So then I started getting drunk and like playing the guitar and screaming. That's how I started. Yeah.
Because so you write. It's interesting because you write these really beautiful, impassionate acoustic songs, and then you have this darker side where you're a punk rocker from hell just screaming your head off.
Yeah. Well, I get aggravated sometimes or I get pissed off and I can put it out there with like, your metal kind of songs. One of the earliest ones was It You.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got into one of your chats I wasn't supposed to be in. And you were like, Robbie Stingle, who's this guy? I don't know him. Who are you? What are you doing here? And I was like,
was that one of our private wart shows that went live by accident? Oh,
yes.
Right.
And I left for like 2 months. And I was subscribed to everything because I heard you sing. And I was like, oh, I cannot believe this. So talented and so expressive. And so I unsubbed and all that. And then I wrote this song called Lunchbox Jam. And it was right at you.
It's weird. Is there anyone else here in the chat who sometimes sits there and when Robbie releases a song, you sit there going, is this about me? Is he aiming this at me?
I don't say who it's at,
unless it's a nice one.
But yeah, later on, I kind of sheepishly went into one of your chats and I said, is it okay for me to be here? And like, I think it was Leela first. It's like, oh, yes, come back. And everybody was really nice to me. And that's when I started coming back into your show and, cutting up and making, jokes at whatever these apps are called. And because I don't know anything about any of this stuff, and I don't use any of it. I'm just there to make jokes and have a good time. And it kind of started something too, because that's where we got Princess Drive-By, where Princess would come in and you do the Mac 10 sounds and the squealing tires. And I was all over that. And then I wrote the song Princess Drive-By. I got the Mac 10 t-shirt. And that kind of started me off on the spoofing on people with those like metal spoof songs.
Spoofing on people?
Oh, yeah.
Don't do that in public. That'll get you in trouble.
Especially Leedy's probably the queen. I think she has 5 or 6 songs about her being, the Satan's mistress and, nurse of death. And she's got the dance of death. And there's all kinds. Yeah, there's a whole lot. She loves them. I sent them all to her with the lyrics and everything. So, she'd approve it and everything. So I wouldn't just do it without telling her. But Yeah, well, Hippie's got quite a few too, and Lori's got some, and yeah, so that's spoof metal. Yeah.
Nice ones about Hippie.
Uh,
Is there one that says "Play my song earlier in the show, you motherfucker"?
no, I haven't gone there. I haven't gone there, no. But that's okay. Obviously, I don't need any promotion. I got 713,000 views. I don't need any promotion. I'm doing fine just on my own.
I haven't written a song about Hippie. I don't need to every day.
Boom, 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 boom.
I have Hippie on a button. And anytime I need to hear Hippie, I just press a button and he's with me. You know what I'm saying? So you pick up a guitar, it gets broken. Your sister's guitar, it gets broken. You bolt it back together. You start playing it, and where to from there? You said you played drums as well. So when did you get a drum kit?
That was later on after I got like a real guitar. I had a cheap knockoff Les Paul copy by a company named Lori, as a matter of fact. It was plywood. It was awful. And really the first real guitar I had was a Gibson double neck that my dad had got me for $800 at the same music store that I was buying all this other stuff from. So, and I started doing the drums too, because basically there's a lot of people that could play guitar, but no one played drums. So you couldn't jam because there wasn't a drummer. So I started playing drums like that,
It's always hard to find a good drummer. Like, it definitely is. Like, easy to find a bass player, but drummers are hard to come. Good drummers are hard to come by, I think, from my experience. And when you get one, you got to treat them good, man. You got to treat them good. Whenever we had a good drummer in one of the bands I was in, every gig, I would help them carry their drums in and out. It's the little things. You gotta do that for your drummer, so they stay in the band. Because if you lose a good drummer, then it's a horrible process. Auditioning new drummers, absolutely. So, around what age was that when that you started playing drums? Did I miss that?
Oh, probably about 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably about then. And it was John Bonham. I mean, John Bonham was my inspiration.
Viv Sparrow.
That's what happened.
Viv Sparrow's here. Hello, Viv. And she's just written, otherwise they spontaneously combust. That is true. That is true. Look after your drummers or they become a green globule on a seat. And nobody wants that, do they? I'm going to play another song, Robbie. This is called Delete Me. What is this song? What is the deal about this song? Tell us about it.
Well, this one pretty much says, kind of feel free to basically give up on me if you want to. I mean, it's kind of like a shout out to those who don't really feel that they have a whole lot of value, that kind of almost just get it over with kind of thing, where it's it could be just disheartening when people don't really appreciate what you're doing, or they might be a hater, which is happens. And it's just kind of saying, go ahead and get it over with. If you don't like me, then go ahead and take me out of your life. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop living. I would say that's kind of an overlook.
Let's play it. You ready, folks? We'll see you back here shortly. This is Delete Me, original song by Robbie Stingle.
right from the start. Do I stop this now and begin anew? If I only knew how, what to do. I can't take it no more. Why couldn't I see this before? I can't take it no more. Goodbye to those I adore. Anymore. So now I begin again. Out of the ashes I rise. I thank God I have 3 friends. Of this no one can deny. I can't take it no more. Why couldn't I see this before? I can't take it no more. Goodbye to all those I adore, and many more. Delete me. Please delete me. Please set me free. Delete me. Delete me. Delete
What a crowd. Beautiful, Robbie. Beautiful stuff. So,
Thank you so much.
so you're 18, you got your drum kit, you got your guitar. At any time were you playing in a band? Did you get together with people? Did you make music with people?
It really didn't work because I wanted to play stuff and I don't know, most of them just wanted to jam or they're drunk or they're stoned or there wasn't a lot of responsibility going on. So I ended up basically doing a solo act. And I would go play on my own. And I'd go to these places. I'd get these gigs. I played at a dance at a Catholic school, a Catholic grade school dance. And I'm there with the 30-inch Gong and the double neck guitar and my Marshall 100-watt super lead and a kind of a PA. I had this 215 Jordan amp. I cut in half and put 15 on each side. And I played the songs. And I started to play She's a Woman by the Beatles. And all these kids went freaking batshit crazy. They started jumping around. They started all this giant bunny hop line. They were going nuts. They were screaming so bad, I had to, turn off the PA system. And the guy in charge of the school came up to me with a check for twice as much as they were going to pay me. So it was they were paying me $750, in like 1980, right, to play this dance. And he comes up with $1,500 in a check. And I looked at him and I said, I want cash. And they actually paid me more money to stop because the kids were going crazy. I mean, Hank Williams was fine. Pink Floyd, China You Crazy Diamond, that was fine. A couple Zeppelin songs, but the Beatles, She's a Woman, they all went crazy. And that wasn't the first time. That wasn't the first time I got overpaid to stop.
Damn, you should start a Beatles cover band. Wow. So did you do that very long? Was this something you did for a while? Or did you play many places?
Yeah, I did. I did play quite a few places. And I got paid to leave the VFW hall. That I was fine. Played through the Marshall very loudly. And by then I had the Bill Isaacson custom-made guitar. And I had played pretty long time. And then I played the National Anthem with my teeth, and they wanted me out of there. That was too much for them.
That was too much.
Yeah. And it was like, 800 became $2,000. Leave, please,
Hey, man, getting overpaid is better than a hook. I got hooked off stage once.
Oh,
no. They cut the power on me. It was ridiculous. It was a Gladys Worthington show. My alter ego, Gladys Worthington, the little old lady. They booked me to do a show, and it was at a lesbian nightclub. And I came out and I sung my version of I Will Survive, which is about old age and being an old elderly woman. And a bunch of lesbians in the audience complained to the owner that I was sexist and ageist. And halfway through the song, they cut the power on me. And again, like you, they went, here's a little bit more money, just go home. I was like, okay, bitches. But like, who goes to a club, a comedy show, right, where there's going to be like stupid stuff and then cries about it? Man, soft bitches. Thank you, Andy, for the $5 super chat. You rock. All right, so you're doing gigs. You're getting paid to get off stage, but you're not. That's not always happening, is it?
Not all the time, no. But people were shocked. They would see people playing with their teeth or jumping off the stage into the crowd and hold the guitar up and in people's faces and wailing out and stuff, or all crazy stuff like that. But it wasn't doing too bad. And then really what stopped it all was John Bonham died, and he drank himself to death. And right then I said to myself, I am going to live past the ripe old age of 40. I don't care if I have to work for minimum wage the rest of my life, but I am not going into music. I'm not going to be a professional musician. And that's what I kept playing, but I was not after any sort of like musical achievement or whatever. So
Now here you are on YouTube kicking it. We've got a special guest who's in the audience, Robbie, and I should mention this because today we've just got Russ, who's finally joined us here, late to the party as always. It is, did you know this, Robbie? It's Russ's birthday today.
happy birthday, Ross.
Yep, 73 today. Unbelievable that he's lasted this long. He doesn't look 73, but he actually is 73. So happy 73rd birthday to you, Russ. You know, well done. I don't know how you reached 73. He's, you know, he does look great. He looks fantastic. So happy birthday to you, Russ. 73 today. Should I do a hippie and sing happy birthday to him?
I don't know. How do you feel? How do you feel about that? It always makes me kind of want to run and hide.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do it this way. I'll sing happy birthday just in booms.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
There you go. Happy birthday to you. All sung in booms from Metalhead Hippie. Anyway, happy birthday, Russ. So, let's talk about work. Now, you've been around guitars, yeah? You've had a life around guitars, and you know a fair bit about guitars. I mean, tell us, am I right in saying this? You have worked around guitars at some point in your life?
Yes, for probably about 5 years I was around a company in Neptune, New Jersey, and worked next to a scrappy young player who nobody wanted to listen to, and trusted me to do things they wouldn't do. So this person had a lot of respect for me, and I don't really want to get too far into it, but
Sure.
he taught me everything I know about building guitars, and every guitar that I build is in the same way that he would do it. And my entire sound is based on that, the sound that he used for a short period of time. And he actually tried to get me to work there for a couple of years, and I wouldn't do it because they wouldn't pay enough. But he was a great man, and he taught me a great deal. So
to have someone to know someone like that, however long for, it must have been inspiring for you, because I was freaked out when you recently made a guitar for Metalhead Hippie and sent it to him. I was blown the fuck out of the water that you went and did that. And how much time did you put into that? I mean, I thought that was just monumental. And I wouldn't know the first. I've watched lots of videos on making guitars, but I'll tell you what, if you put all the pieces in front of me, I'd just go have a lie down instead. So how long did you put into making that guitar for Hippie? It looked like you put a lot of love into it.
Well, it was kind of a hurried thing because it was his birthday.
Yep.
I had mentioned it. I talked to Lori and I talked to Mike Olson about it, and Lori was like, "Oh, you wouldn't be able to get it for his birthday." And I thought, well, I could try it. And it was 24/7. Now, I already had the neck dressed. I did that on Laz's show when he was dressing a neck, and he needed help, doing that. But yeah, I dressed it in the same way that this gentleman taught me how to do it, where you would backbow the neck first. You want the neck not level. You want the neck curved. And then you sand the crap out of it. And then you crown it, and then you steel the living crap out of it. So that was done on the show earlier. So that was probably about 2 hours of work in that neck. And it was a very rare and valuable neck too. that I thought I could do without. And I loved Jeff. And he said he wanted a guitar that shaped. And I had this guitar body. It's a Condor body that I had tried to use, but I couldn't get the feedback response out of the amplifier the way I wanted it to, because it's made out of alder and I prefer poplar. So I thought this would be perfect for Jeff too. I also put in a 1979 Schaller Golden 50 double cream pickup that was wax potted by Lindy Fralin that I sent to, which unfortunately it doesn't fit with his sound. You know, he likes modeling amps, this and that. I like total tube amps without any solid state components. So it's two different worlds, you know. But it was probably about a week of working on that to get it to go, and then to get it ready to ship. And then, you know, there's two ways to get to Alaska. You could go by plane or you could go by boat.
I thought you were going to say sleigh.
We put it on a big bird and it did get there. So, you know, all I can say is I hope he likes it, and it is quite valuable. But it depends what you're into. Some people like a certain sound that wouldn't fit with them. So,
man, I wouldn't give a fuck. Somebody made a guitar for me. Damn. I mean, you know, when Lady Rodeline made a guitar strap for me, I teared up when she sent that to me. It's so good. In fact, I don't even want to use it on my guitar because it's this piece of art. You know what I'm saying? So it is, as Thomas says here, it's such an awesome gift. And yeah, I was blown away by that. As I said earlier, when I first came across you, I started to listen to your songs. I knew you had the gong, you played with your teeth, and the more that's why I wanted to interview you, to find out more of where we got to, how we got to, who is this person, who is this person, because then all of a sudden you're making fucking guitars for people. I'm like, there's a lot to this Robbie Stingle. There's a lot of depth, and I think that's why a lot of people love you, Robbie. You are well loved. Now, how do you look at life each day? I mean, you've struggled with illness, yeah? You're constantly battling with illness and health issues, yeah?
Yeah.
What makes Robbie Stingle get up each day and continue to push forward?
This is going to sound crazy because I'm not looking for anything. I don't want to make money from YouTube. I'm on a fixed income. I'm disabled. My house is paid for because I bust my ass for years. I'm fine where I am. But what YouTube does for me is it says, we watch shorts, 8 o'clock, 11 or 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Then we want an original song. And you can't do any more or any less. Sometimes I push the envelope. Sometimes I go a little harder. Sometimes they're nice. Sometimes they're not. But you've got to have this stuff on all the time. I do a metal song every Wednesday. I did not want to do it this Wednesday because I was really in pain from trying to fix my radiator in my Plymouth, which was like a 5-day ordeal of me pushing it to the limit with my RA, and I also have the osteoarthritis. Sometimes I can't even stand up. Sometimes my legs give out. Yesterday I actually fell down. I couldn't catch myself in time, because the leg or the hip goes out. But I went ahead and made that metal video on Wednesday. And yes, it is aggressive. And yes, it's at somebody that I'm going to say who it is. Of course, but that is been keeping me going when I don't want to get up. When I think, yeah, I could sleep for a week now, but my arms, my legs been hurt like crazy, or this and that and everything. But that it's like, Robbie, I know you could write another song. Now, I didn't write a song last night because I was so I was so worn out and tired from working on the Plymouth, which I did fix with some help with my neighbor. And that's how I made more shorts today, driving in the Plymouth instead of making shorts sitting in the Plymouth in the garage or looking at the open hood with parts missing. You know? But like I said, you got to have them. The worst thing you do is not put that short up. You know, if you want to get to the amount of views I have, you have to do the work. And you have to find a shtick and do it every time. I did get lucky in the beginning. I drove that Plymouth and I sang in it and I got 2,000 views for a video. And that was my niche. I brought that to more than several videos over 5,000 views. Having 10, 12,000 view days, you know, stuff like that, because I've researched the song. I find the song. I sing the song in the car. So if somebody subscribes to my channel that saw a short, they subscribe because they heard me sing. So when they go to the channel and I'm singing, it's not a surprise and they don't bail. You know, so I don't lose subscribers if somebody just puts up 3 seconds of nonsense or whatever. You know, it's a totally different thing. I've researched it. I work at it. And like, you know, doing the work is how you get there, you know. And like I said, today I wrote a song before I made the video because I didn't write one last night. And that's what I come up with, you know, give me some cheese. It's, you know, give me some cheese with that wine, you know, because I'm whining about, you know, how much I'm hurting, you know, stuff like that. You know, so yeah, it hurts a lot. I don't want to take, you know, hydrocodone or whatever, because then my mind will be gone. I won't be able to write songs. I won't feel the emotions I need to feel. So sometimes it's hard, sometimes it hurts, but that comes out in the writing and that shows itself through the music and through the performance.
I totally feel you. I started this YouTube channel, same thing. Well, it was during the inconvenience, that time when we were all locked in houses and stuff. And for me, it was, I had some knowledge, and due to my health, I'm not going to go into it. I've got enough about it on the channel, what my condition is and stuff. It was a reason to get up each day and have something to look forward to and have something to drive you to do something. And if it helps anybody, then that's a bonus. But first of all, it was to help me. And I still, even though I've had to change out my big screen here, I still have a Post-it note sitting up the corner that says, remember, you're doing this every day to get out of bed. Because it's very easy, do you think, Robbie, to fall into a hole and give up?
Abso-freaking-lutely. I used to just lay in bed. I was an accomplishment for me to go to the store. I couldn't do over one thing before I couldn't walk. You know, it would take me 3 days to cut the lawn. I'm doing stuff now, like working on the Plymouth, putting that air conditioner in my wall, going to drive to get it at 104 degrees. I never would have been able to touch that kind of stuff, you know, let alone the amount of music stuff I do or playing the drums like I have. Yeah, it all helps. It might hurt, but it does help. And you're absolutely right about, you know, living life and not sitting there watching, well, it's this time. What show's on TV now, you know?
Yeah, but instead we watch YouTube, don't we? Thank you, Laurie, for the super chat. She writes, love you, Jade and Robbie. And you know what? I'm glad that you got onto YouTube, right? Ultimately, I think many of us can say this, who've got to know you as a friend, even though you do get upset and unsubscribe from us sometimes, but you come back. Put a one in the chat if Robbie's unsubscribed from you and then he's come back that you know of. I think he's done it to me twice, I think. But no, that is one of the things. Besides all the views, besides all the achievements that you've had, yeah, and your subscribers, I think there's a lot of us here who just have a big soft spot for you because you're real, and it's a really hard thing. We talked about this at the start of the show. There's a lot of people out there who do these shows and they talk a good game and it's all smoke and mirrors. But just being real these days is it's a very rare thing to find. It's like a diamond, yeah? So I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad that it's helping you with your health because, man, it's really easy to fall into a hole. And I'm sure many people here agree that, without us doing all this music and seeing so many people collaborate and stuff, we'd probably be in a worse place. So we're very lucky to have you and to have this community. What does this community mean to you since you've found it?
Quite a bit, I mean, most people know that I co-host on Johnny Bean twice a week. And the people in that chat helped me a lot as far as being more expressive and coming out and saying things about different things, and telling stories about scrappy young guitar players. And, it helped me tremendously, and I've made some really close friends here. Jade, I consider you one of them. I'd say Leela, I don't talk to Brad much, but I'd put him in there. And of course, Russ. Happy birthday, Russ. I know I don't talk to you a lot, but you're in my heart, And then, Mike Olson and, of course, Richard. Richard helps me so much. And Lori. Lori's like family to me.
Yeah, we love Lori. Don't we? Lori? You're loved. I just want to make Laurie laugh all the time. Because, that's an interesting thing. Laurie is, I think, one of the hardest working people in this community who, without her, I think this whole collaboration thing really wouldn't be as big as what it is right now because there's so many collaborations across all these channels. Sometimes it feels like if I don't see Laurie, there's something wrong. Because she's just in bloody every fucking video there is, She is the hardest working musician out there and now singer. And watching her grow has just been an amazing thing. So I think that's one of the things I like about this community is seeing people get better and grow. And that's why I do this show. It's not necessarily about iOS or apps. It's more so about seeing people grow and get better and want to get better. That's the most important thing. Let's play a song. I'm going to play Let the Chips Fall. What's this song about, my friend Robbie?
This is about kind of lack of respect when you feel that, someone isn't giving you a fair shake, maybe, when you think you've done something that you're not recognized for, and it has a lot to do with, how you react when you actually really, really love someone that you feel is kind of disrespecting you. That's basically what it's all about.
Let's play it. Let's let the song speak for itself. You ready, folks? This is Let the Chips Fall.
When I go here, when people you trust put you down, is it really here nor there? When people treat you like a clown, so laugh, clown, laugh. The show must go on. However, in the aftermath, you just gotta be gone. Go, go, get away. Let the chips fall where they may. In this game of life, it's like you seldom win, and those who promote strife are soon to be has-beens. Go, go, get away. Just live for today. Go, go, get away. Let the chips fall where they may. Chips fall where they may, and every day sees the day. Let the chips fall where they may. I don't give a shit what you say. Let the chips fall where they may, and every way sees the day. Let the chips fall where they may. I don't give a shit what you say. Let those chips fall. Let those chips fall where they may. Let those chips fall. Let those chips fall where they may. So laugh, clown, laugh. The show must go on. However, in the aftermath, it's just gotta be. Gone. Let the chips fall where they may. Way seize the day. Let the chips fall where they may. I don't give a shit what you say. What you say. Let them fall where they may, and seize the day.
Settle. Now we all deal with trolls, don't we? We all deal with negative comments on YouTube. It's a part of it. The more people you get watching your channel, the more you're going to get somebody saying something insensitive. How do you deal with anything like that that comes up on your channel?
I give him a heart and I give him a thumbs up.
Spot on. Spot on. Do you hide anyone from your channel? Have you gone ahead and... No?
No, never have.
Man, you're a better person than me. See, Pete Johns, he normally... What Pete used to do, I don't know if he still does it, when Pete would get a shit-ass comment, he'd, be nice to them and give them back like a comment that was kind of a bit offhand, a bit of an offhand slap, but at the same time positive. And then he got a community guidelines strike. and Pete's one of the nicest people when it comes to dealing with trolls, and somehow he got a community guidelines strike. I was like, what the hell? So it seems like you can't even be nice but offhandedly nasty to trolls anymore. Do you think trolls are overprotected on YouTube, Robbie?
Well, I don't like them. I guess they have the right to say what they want to, but you know me, I actually feel sorry for them. I mean, they must be so troubled that they have to, make fun of me. And what am I doing,
Yeah, you got to go wonder what goes through the mind. Like, obviously, there's something wrong. There's definitely something wrong, right? And that's the first thing I think of too. It's like, geez, I wonder what's going on in your world. I wonder who's really hurting you and what's happening. And that's my immediate thought. I just think, God, you poor thing. And then I want to reach out and help them.
I know, but then, if you look them up, they've got like no videos, no subscribers, something like that. Yeah, it's like, well, you're coming after me and you don't even have any videos, it's like.
Well, this brings us to an interesting point about subscribers, yeah? So you've passed 1,000 subscribers, and I know I see it a lot in the community of people saying, I had this many, I just crossed over 1,000 subscribers, and now I had 107, and now today I have 104. What is going on? Now, I know what it is. I know what the reason is why that's happening. It's not people unsubscribing from you. So if you're thinking that, get that out of your minds, folks. It's definitely not that. Because if you think about it yourself, right, how many channels, because we all do it, how many channels have you signed up to that when you subscribed, you thought, this is a good channel, and then you've never watched them again? Right? We've all got them, right? We see them pop up in our feed and we don't watch them. I've got lots of news stuff like that and lots of things. But how often do we actually go through our subscriber list and start removing subscriptions? I think we're all too fucking lazy to do that, right? So I don't think it's that people are unsubscribing. I think what it is, this comes down to the trolls, because so many people create sock accounts to troll people. They have no videos, no content on their channels. And what YouTube are doing is they're going through the people who've created accounts. And if there's nothing in there, they're just deleting them. Every day they're going through and deleting non-active accounts. Or it could be like promotional stuff that have just tried to latch onto your channel. So if that happens to you, folks, trust me, don't get upset. It's probably just YouTube, I think, for the most part, just removing inactive accounts, bot accounts, inactive accounts, and sock accounts. Because most people won't go through and actively remove something because we're humans. We're lazy-ass motherfuckers. So let's have a look at your channel, because for those of you who don't know, I'm just going to bring it up here on the screen, because it is a fascinating view. Here we go. Now, when did you start making shorts, Robbie?
Pretty early on.
So from the beginning?
Yeah, I think it was pretty early. It was probably in the first couple of weeks. Oh, wait, no. I started my channel with shorts because Janice Lala subscribed to me and I didn't have anything on my channel. So the only ones I could put up was shorts I had. So I put up the 5 shorts, and then my first video was Ain't Talking About Love on David Lee Roth's birthday last year.
Look at these views, folks. 2K views, 1.7K, 3.4K, 2K, 1.9K. Dude, the secret sauce you must have. I don't know. I mean, look, and all of them look the same from here. If I'm looking through them all, they all just look like from the inside of a car. But I'm telling you, it's mind blowing to see. And look how many shorts you have. This is absolute dedication. You really have to push hard to get this kind of reaction. And it's a never ending for anybody who's got a YouTube channel. You look at it's still 2.4K, 1.5K, 1.5, 1.9, 1.7. It's not often that you have anything like, 5K this one.
Ooh, baby, do you know what it's worth? Ooh,
Copyright claim. There you go. You got a hint of it. But this is the thing with shorts. People, I think, love seeing people just open and expressive. Do you think about your shorts before you put them up?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'll go through. I'll research #1 hits from a certain year. So I pick the most popular, and I'll write the lyrics down on a piece of paper and tape it to my dashboard.
It's great.
So I know what the words are. I used to memorize them in the old days, but that, you got to put out 4 a day, sometimes 6 or 7. Yeah, there's no time for any of that. All right.
Yeah.
But, and I will go through and pick the best ones, but I think mostly people just like to see me doing it. It's not really how good I sing them anymore.
So also recently you've started a band.
Yeah.
We got to talk about hangry because it's one of my favorite words. We have a commercial here in Australia. I forget I can't remember what the product's for. I think it's some kind of drink. And in it, that was the first time I ever heard the word hangry. What is hangry?
Hangry is me and Danny Blunk. I play guitar and sing, and Danny plays the drums. And that's hangry.
So how did you two get together? How did this collaboration begin?
Oh, I knew Danny from years ago when he played with a local band, and he stopped playing with them, and we'd get together and play, the two of us. And lately I ran into him and he expressed interest in playing again, and that's when we did Hangry. And it's just what it is. You're talking, we do it live and we're doing it, and that's it. So it's a lot like the way I do it, except it's both of us. And he said he tweaked his back. That's why there hasn't been much Hangry out lately, but he really likes doing it and loves the videos. So I'm sure we're going to see more Danny, and we'll see more Hangry. And unfortunately, we play some AC/DC. I know you don't like them, but
hey, music's subjective. Just because I don't like them doesn't mean shit. Man! Yeah, I fucking love Hangry. This is where it's at, man. Both me and Brad agree on this. We've been in Clubhouse and we love Hangry. We love it when you do your punk rock side. Even though we love your softer, gentler side, your acoustic stuff. But I do love it when you thrash out, man. Because, you know, I love punk, I love metal, and I love... It looks like you two are having an awesome time.
Yeah, Danny goes for it all the way like I do, so it's a good combination.
Yeah, man, he was concentrating fucking hard there too. he was pulling the Lars Ulrich faces on the drums as well. He's going for it. Awesome. We love Hangry. So that's really cool. I love that. Metalhead Hippies joined us. Hello, Jeff.
Boom, boom.
You missed out, Jeff. We sung Happy Birthday to Russ earlier, just in booms. You can go back and see that on the replay. So we're getting to the end of the show. I've saved one song specifically for the end. What's next for you, Robbie? What are you looking forward to with the channel? Are you going to do anything different now that you've hit your milestone? I know you do special appearances over at Johnny Bean's show. Your music's played all over the place. What are you thinking of anywhere to take your channel? What's going on in your mind with that?
Well, I'm looking forward to the 38-inch Gong here in less than 3 months. And that's going to be a special Sunday Sounds with just the 38. I'm looking so forward to that.
So tell us about it. What's, just so everybody's clear, what have you done? What have you gone and done?
It took me a very long time to save the money to buy this 38-inch Gong, and I went without quite a bit of things, and I got help. People helped me with getting food in the last week or two, so I was able to send the money for the Gong. And it was Mike Olson and Lori would send me money to go buy food, and you know, was awesome, you know, and it's I knew that I had to get it right then, because something might happen that would prevent me from getting it, because there's a backstory. When I had the 30, I tried to get a 40. I thought John Bonham played a 40. I was wrong. He played a 36, but I thought he played a 40, and I had saved up all this money and paid it to that store to get this 40-inch Gong. And I think I had $3,500 paid to them for a $4,500 Gong. And it took me a long time to save. Well, I wrecked my van, and the doors of that van crushed around this 30-inch Gong. Then you talk about tough. Yeah, that thing laughed at being wrecked. But I had my father fix that van, and he wanted money, and I had to call Paste every day for 2 weeks, and finally they gave me $1,500 back so I could pay my father for fixing that van. And that they had you get no refunds. Paste is a very strict company, and so I lost out my chance to get the 40 years and years ago, you know, when I was whatever, 18 or 20. So then I managed to save up enough money for this 32, which actually measures 33 3/4.
False advertising.
So it's even bigger. And I managed to save the money for that. And I thought maybe by the end of the year I could get a 38. And the guy told me was going to be $2,625, which is a pretty good price. And that's what I tried to save that up. And I knew that I had to get it right then because something might happen, like wrecking my van, that would make it so I couldn't get it and I'd never be able to touch it again because my rheumatologist is talking hip replacement to me. And if I do that, I won't have anybody to buy anything. I'll be able to get by, but I won't be able to save or like buy anything else. Because it's pretty tight ship around here. So I managed to get it. And then of course the radiator goes in the Plymouth. That would have been the kind of thing that would have stopped it in its tracks, So I'm lucky to be getting that 38-inch Pace symphonic gong. And I sold a guitar. I sold a 1988 Charvel Model 2 to a friend of mine, CC, who also helped me get this radiator pretty cheap. And I told him, I just want what I paid for it. Since I had sold it to this guy and I bought it back from him. And I mean, I paid $800 to get it back from him. I had to redo the entire guitar, of course. But it's all perfect, mint condition, original case, everything. And I said, all right, CC, you can have it for the $800. He paid that, PayPal me that. I still haven't sent it to him because my car has been broken down, but I will because I finally got it running, today. But I used that $800 to buy the massive gong stand for the 38-inch gong, the round kind, not this little square one like you. Here.
Where are you going to fit it? Where's it going to fit in that room?
It's not. I'm cleaning out the living room. Everything's going out there.
Oh my God, that's full on. Oh,
I even got a little C stand today for the 30-inch gong, so it doesn't have to be like strapped underneath this 32. I can get out of the way. You can see it here.
Right, it's down there. I wonder where the other one was.
There's the 30 hanging off of a longer piece of gong gut.
Damn.
And now I have a C stand, which I think I could fit right here. I'll move the PA head over, and I think I'll be able to put it right here for now. So I could still have it, but it won't be on. I could lower this gong stand a little bit because you guys have seen some of these videos where I hit this thing and I get that gong swaying and that stands all over the place. Yeah. If I lower it a little bit, it'll be a little more stable. So,
dude, you're gonna end up like on an edition of Hoarders for gongs, and they're gonna be like wading through gongs in the house trying to find Robbie. It's wild. Well, I'm gonna hit you with our last question, and I want to play this last song because I know this means a lot to you. This last song.
That's funny.
So I ask everybody this on the show. Robbie Stingle, if you were giving advice to somebody just starting out on YouTube or music or just being creative, when would you say is the best time for them to start doing it?
Oh, today. If you're going to do it, jump in, do it now.
No,
set up that phone. Yeah. So set up that phone or whatever and just do it. Just sing it to it and upload it and start loading, just flood with content. Just let it all out there and never take anything down.
Absolutely. Robbie,
that's what I would say.
I want to thank you for coming on the show today. I want to thank you for sharing a part of your life. And I know we've only just barely scratched the surface. I want to thank you for the music you create and for being a big part of this community that I can speak for everybody. We all love you, Robbie. And we look forward to see what's coming up next for your next 1,000 subscribers. Right, because I'm sure it won't be too far away. Folks, all of Robbie's links are down in the description if you need to go and do the click stuff and go and if you haven't subscribed, then you're crazy. Yeah, go and do that now. And I've also got a link to another link down there, so go click that too. But we're going to go out with this song, and I want you to tell me a little bit about this. This is called "You Have to Be Strong."
Yeah, I had written a original before this, and Heather Feisty Feather actually shared it out. It was the first song I was ever shared out on YouTube. And thank you, Heather, for that. And this one I wrote right after. And this is about my mom when she died. And you know, I had quit my job to take care of, actually both my parents had cancer at the same time and died within 2 weeks of each other. And yeah, I was taking care of them. And it's about her and you know, how it affects me. And that was the last thing she said to me before she died. Her last words were, "You have to be strong." I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, this it's pretty powerful. So look out, you know. It should hit you if you have a heart. And this is really kind of the start of all the songs. And I started writing songs more often and often. And I think, I don't know how many I have now. There must be 400 of those things. But yeah, basically started with this.
We love you, Robbie. Keep being you. Yeah.
Oh, Jade, thank you so much. Thank you for everybody for watching and listening to me. You know, really, I mean, you mean the world to me. You do. And so honored to be here, Jade. Just the biggest honor.
Honor's all mine, my friend. And everybody out there, continue to be you. Always be you. Stay strong. Do the things that make you happy. Remember, mistakes make you better, and we can all rise together. That's the motto of this show. And Robbie exemplifies that. So I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back here tomorrow taking a look at this little piece of kit tomorrow on the show, this little iRig thingy-majig. We've got some cool stuff coming up on the weekend, so I hope to see you here on the channel. This is You Have to Be Strong by Robbie Stingle. See you later, everybody.
I miss you so much, I could hardly stand it. You stole my heart, just like a bandit. Now I'm all alone, if I could be candid and free roam. I've just landed. Now you are gone, I've got to live all by myself. And I'll write a song and my heart does melt. You're never coming back, you've inside my soul. Someday we'll meet again in the light that's cold. Solid gold soul, we don't really go. How that you hold forevermore. You gave me life and suffered with me. I was your blood, So it would seem when the end came, I was there for you. Saw what I shouldn't, and what did you do? So love is eternal existence, infinite. It's never ending love, and we both know it. So when you left, we both did know the light and the love did surely show. It's been a long time now, the months and years go by, but to this day I still feel sad and cry. Everything I know, feel you are near, and I know in the end the light is clear. So love is eternal, existence infinite. It's never ending love, and we both know it. That you left, we both do know the life and love will surely grow. I miss you so much, I can hardly stand it. You're still in my heart, just like a bandit. Now I'm all alone. If I could be candid and free you roam, and I'm just landed. I just landed.
We'll all rise together, 'cause you make me shine better, and we'll all rise together